like you're either in the Matrix or you're not in the Matrix. Do you know what I mean? Like, no pun intended. But I don't know. Like, even at the time, I wasn't on that bandwagon of like, oh my god, this has changed cinema forever. Like, it just didn't do anything for me, to be honest. Like, there were some cool fight sequences, but short of that,
How far underground do you think you are?
it wasn't exactly amazing. I actually prefer the There's this thing, actually. Have you watched the Ip Man series? I think it's called Ip Man. Ip Man or IP Man? It's not IP, because that just sounds terrible. Yeah, Ip. Because they look brilliant. So does The Raid, which are two series of films that I've just not getting a chance to get round to watching yet.
Out of Date says there'll be consequences of the war, but there are more pressing matters.
Supposed to be amazing, brilliant films.
The last World Eater has been left undisturbed with the tree while you focused on the war.
Yeah, it's supposed to be amazing. And the reason I brought the first Raid up is because I think the guy that played Sub-Zero in the new Mortal Kombat movie is from the Raid, like one of the main guys. Oh well, now we're talking. Die Hard with martial arts. There's another actor that's just blended into obscurity.
Out of Date understands the road has been rough, but
Goddamn Bruce Willis.
Left to end this journey.
Could have been so many more good films, and he's just done shite. I watched his last one the other day, that space one. Fuck me, that was terrible.
Strong enough to face the last World Eater. The future depends on someone with a light perspective to give the world a chance to survive. Only time will tell what the future holds, and if it will bring a lasting peace for those that make it to the end. Out of Date says the word about what you've done so far is spreading. The tribes haven't lost hope yet. He appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately, he's had urgent news from his friend Wiz in the Northwest. He's unsure about your intentions, but hopes you'll support Wiz. He says he'll point...
Are you a fan of Friends? Did you watch the Friends reunion?
Sure
I haven't watched it yet. I've got it, but I haven't watched it.
That doesn't sound good. Out of Date's hunch is real. The Merc Puff is up next. Out of Date says that Wiz is worried now that the Northwest World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Wiz is working on an undersurf vessel in order to get to the World Eater, but needs help to get it done.
Was it necessary? Because when they announced the Friends reunion, I thought it was going to be like a one-off episode.
Head northwest as fast as possible.
And when I found out that it was just them sitting down talking about the show and that, I was like,
he's happy to help.
that's not as good.
Says goodbye to you.
I really think we could do, like, I don't even think you could actually do Friends again. I think you could do something similar to it. Like, I'm not 100% set
so much more
on this, yeah, How I Met Your Mother is a great TV show. I'm not 100% sure that we really need How I Met Your Father. And I don't fully understand how they're gonna manage to to do it, in all honesty. Alright, he wants me, like, just straight up through the fields, get the job done. It's really good. It's probably as close as you'll get to a Friends show that's not Friends. With, like, the same level of gravitas and sort of emotional heartstring pulling and all of that malarkey. It's a very, very, very good show. And it has got a beginning, a middle, and an end. So you know going in, and it was a good end as well. It was no fuck about ending. It was actually a show that ended well.
Things you need.
Yes. I agree. All right. I agree. Some of the characters weren't good. I feel like no, I don't need that one. I feel like some of the characters were stereotypically like bad though, not just bad for the sake of being bad. Not bad, mate, not bad. You told me you were going to ring me back, but I'm still waiting. Been 2 weeks. I'll keep that one, I think.
More raw for your crafting.
Honestly, mate, you have no idea. Right. Alright. Actually, have a mask. Finally. Only took nearly all of the game. Right, get rid of that. Get rid of that. That's the one downside to this game. It just throws loot at you like there's no fucking tomorrow, and kind of dilutes the whole loot aspect of the game. It makes it feel like what do you mean? I don't know. What happened with it? If you tell me what happened with it, then I'll tell you why that happened. I have no idea, mate. I've got videos going on left, right, and centre, so... Oh, yeah, I was dropping frames massively. And that was running on a PS5. Like, do you mean like the other night? Were you watching it live the other night? Started running like shite. Because I don't think I've posted them ones yet. I have an idea as to why it's running like shite, and I'm gonna try and fix it, but there's not necessarily gonna be able to fix it. The issue I've got I don't know. Well, that might have started doing it then as well. The issue I've got is obviously there's both of us in the video, and I've got direct feed, so I can see everything. Everything's getting recorded and done at my end, and I've got a screen share to Richard. So when I'm screen sharing to Richard, what I didn't know is, and this is kind of in the vein of what you're on about, the first, oh Christ, 10, 12 videos we did, Richard was watching the game with no sound whatsoever, just reading the subtitles and had no sound, didn't tell me he had no sound. So I was trying to figure out how to get him sound, and the only way that I can figure out how to get him sound, because of the software we're using and the things that we're doing, was to literally stream the game twice. So I'm streaming the game to YouTube and Twitch, but then at the same time, I've got it running again on the computer and sending a direct feed of that to Richard so that he could get sound. I need to, and I've messaged Streamlabs to ask why their preview window doesn't come with sound, and then they just said it doesn't come with sound. I was like, well, champion, just what we need. Yeah, I'm fully aware. It started dropping frames last night like an absolute nightmare. I noticed when I was playing at my end it started dropping frames, and it never dropped frames before. So what I might have to do is I might just have to bite the bullet and use the other software to stream it, and that way I'm only streaming it like once to YouTube and once to Twitch. But we'll figure it out. It doesn't do it in any of the other situations. It's only when we do Yakuza and it's my games being streamed to Richard. The other way around seems to work because he's got an old school or had, it doesn't work now, an old school capture card that just captured through line in. Mine doesn't capture through line in. It's direct HDMI. So it's something that I'll have to look into and try and figure out. But I'll sort it out. It's not the end of the world. I just want to get this game finished because, like I say, I've got Ratchet and Clank on Friday. I still have to do Mass Effect 2 and 3. I've got Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2. Like, there's a shit ton of stuff to get through. Not to mention there's some other games I want to go back to.
Sometimes still
like,
full of good
I want to put The Last of Us on the channel, and I want to put Uncharted on the channel, and God of War, and well, there's shit tons of games for me to go through now. Right. Off we go up the hill. Should probably just collect that, because I could do with Mate, I'm always right.
Ah, that wood scraps.
And when it comes to games, 99% of the time I'm right. There was no way on this planet God of War was coming out. It just hadn't shown anywhere near enough. I mean, we've barely seen fucking Horizon. And in all honesty, in my opinion, I don't think Horizon looks that good. I was going to do a top 10. Like my top 10, Richard's top 10, which will be vastly different. Obviously, we play massively different games. And then maybe like, once I get enough... Oh, fuck off. Don't you dare drown. Once I get enough people involved, I'm thinking about doing like a definitive sort of knockout sort of situation, whereby we'll take 50 games. Everyone can vote on the game that they want to enter into the list. The games with the top 50 games with the most votes go into a random number generator. We use the random number generator to pick out 2 games. They go into block 1, and we'll do it all the way down. And then twice a week, what we'll do is we'll come back and we'll do a breakdown of the two games. We'll pit them against each other. We'll get everybody to vote on which one they think should win and why.
That's an Aurora totem.
And then we'll find out, like, the channel's definitive.
Together will form a band of your aura in the sky.
Oh yeah, I haven't done that yet. We'll put them on the channel, and then obviously with everybody voting and doing all of that, what you'll end up with is the definitive MBX Games sort of #1 game, as voted by the people that watch MBX Games. Because it's all well and good me telling you what's the #1 game, because my favourite game isn't going to be your favourite game, just like your favourite film's not going to be my favourite film. So at least that way, it's a communicative effort, and we've all had a part to play. So that's something I was going to try doing.
You've discovered Fanaki leaves, the densest jungle in the land. Better get hacking.
Nice. Cannon Fodder's a bloody good game.
Bet you could make something shiny out of that metal.
Again, Shenmue 1 is a good game. For its time, is a very good game. They fucked the job.
Don't hug your mount. It's
with
not
Shenmue 3 properly. Like, ruined the series. Like, well, sorry, they haven't ruined the series because 1 and 2 are still good games, but they've ruined a potential future for that franchise with Shenmue 3 because it was absolutely diabolical. And I understand the logic of what they were trying to do with Shenmue 3. They were trying to keep to that same gameplay style, and they were trying to make it feel like canon, like it hadn't upgraded, it was the same. But yeah, they fucked that job big time. I don't know why they didn't just go down the route of making a continuing the Shenmue story in a Yakuza style game. It would have been so much better.
You just found a fixer-upper. Wonder what finally broke it down. Just put one foot in front of the other. Easy. You run like the wind.
Where's that gone? There it is. Right, I'm gonna have to fucking start using these parts to build some powerful weapons. My favourite franchise is Yakuza, hands down. It's like, it's not, there's no question. And my favourite individual game is Life is Strange.
That's the rumor. Go, beastie, go.
Crazed creatures chasing me. You'd be slightly correct in that assumption. This game, in my opinion, is... The fighting is fantastic. The kung fu side of it, the fighting is brilliant. The crafting is brilliant. The story is bullshit. And, like, everything about the game, other than the fighting and the crafting, which, to be fair, fighting and crafting is a large part of the game, is good, but the rest of it's just, it's mediocre at best, to be honest. Which, speaking of crafting... Oh. Craft. And ranged. Modify. Can we make this any stronger? Stock. Nope. Rip. Oh, something was better. Let's add that. That. Right. I don't want a shotgun. 108. Well, that's a good one. 119. Magazine. We'll do the 125. Top mod. Two seconds, mate, and I'll, I can see you've wrote. Just give us 2 seconds. Right, your PC's what? Freezing. The fan blows for a second. Then it works. It's been blue screen. Oh, yeah, well, it will. You're recording and actually doing things with it now. To be quite honest with you, mate, like, if you're getting regular blue screens, processor memory, generally the issue, it's not your power supply, 100% guaranteed, without question, not your power supply. Which is what people normally tell you to go and look at, but it isn't, because I know your computer as well as I know my own. And I would say have a look at maybe trying to put less strain on the computer. So yeah, I mean the CPU it would be my first port of call, because blue screen of death is usually RAM or CPU. You don't generally get a blue screen of death from your graphics card, it'll just go off. So I would say have a look at maybe when you're streaming or you're doing your thing, maybe look at possibly not doing like the green screen effects. Try doing some like less intensive stuff. And if that helps, then you know you've got a baseline to work with. You know that it's something that's processor intensive.
That's even better.
You've got a what? I seen you wrote something there about bloody Watch Dogs. Are you playing Watch Dogs on it? Because if you're playing Watch Dogs on it, then that's that's majority of your problem. Yeah, it sounds like your computer's on its way out. That's not good. Like I say, mate, this streaming and recording malarkey, it's an intensive old situation. I mean, my computer's pretty fucking swish-like. It's a decent computer, the one I've got. It's 2-year-old now, 3-year-old, something like that. Hold on, is it? 20, 18, 19, 20... 4-year-old. It's 4-year-old. But regardless of that, yeah, it takes a lot to do this nonsense. I'm telling you, it's not straightforward and easy. It really isn't. And like I say, my suggestion is make absolute certainty that you've got it set up to do it right. So I would take some of the strain off your computer by not doing the So hold on, it's just done it again, and you're not streaming, and you're not playing any games, you're not doing anything intensive. Because if it's doing it when it's just sitting there doing nothing, then it's obviously, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out. It's a big problem. Like that there is interesting, right?
Pants would be the bare minimum.
That's right. So basically, mate, if you have your computer kicking off like that, you've really not got that many options.
You're onto something.
You can test and try. Are you keeping an eye on your temperatures? Because I mean, it's probably not. I wouldn't get your hopes up, like. But
put it together. It suits you.
It might be worth checking that you're not overheating. Because you can get a blue screen from overheating. And it's hot. My computer's naturally sitting at like over 50 degrees when I'm doing call. $99 degrees or 99% usage. Because if it's going off when it's hitting high usage, then that could be right. To be honest with you, mate, it sounds like your processor might be on its way out. Do some tests. The easiest test you can do, go on CPU-Z and run a stress test. Run a stress test on your CPU. It'll bang it up to 100%. Leave it there for about 3 or 4 minutes. If it goes back off again, you've got a knackered CPU. If it doesn't go back off, you've got a different problem.
Toxanol's mining led to mass deforestation and increased global warming, as nature couldn't absorb the carbon dioxide and greenhouse gas emissions without the trees. These irreversible changes to the climate also contributed to the evolution and modified our genetic code. Stories keep moving whether you drive them or not. Wuz isn't easy on the tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days. Says it's good to see you again. He's Wiz. You might remember him from the old days when he let you try his octopod? Wiz remembers you were such a cheery kid, and he's glad to see that light hasn't faded from you, despite the years. But Wiz understands it was a long time ago, and memories get murky. They've been here for you since you were a kidling, but when you left, you also chose to distance yourself from everyone that cared for you. Wiz says our memory keeps things for us, preserves them until we are ready to face them again. He knows you've returned to face Lupa Lupin, and that confrontation is as inevitable as the time.
I've already defeated Lupa Lupin, like, so...
He's not surprised that the loss of your family could plunge you into the depths forever, but you've always been able to rise like a bubble to the surface, no matter what. He knows that though the tides of history may push you in
Still there, like, Greg?
You can always lay your own course. Ultimately, it's your choice. You were the one to be wronged and have lived with the consequences. He believes in consequence as it's a direct result of action.
Where's that dark now?
Too true. No one can escape the dark.
No, but you can fight it. Fight it!
Can't fight love.
Watch me.
Ooh, check you out with your dual monitor set up. I wish I had dual monitor set up. Make this whole streaming malarkey so much fucking easier.
Freedom and whether any of us really. Maybe that's true for you, but he's not so sure about his own fate.
We should start the petition, mate, to get all the greatest 80s shows redone, brought back. Like, I can't wait for this Beverly Hills Cop thing that's supposedly going down.
The world spinning. Thinks you were smart to join with the Myriad. They have a rainbow of ways to approach any problem. Says they use
Hey, it's not, doesn't matter. Two monitor setup, still impressive.
Really as important as this. Wiz says that you should let the past dwell in the depths, but there's something else.
Yes, oh, Richard's on a 4 monitor setup, so he's proper living the life.
The Merc Puff.
He's got one monitor playing his game. Another monitor is for just YouTube, nothing else. Another monitor has just Discord, nothing else on. And then another monitor for all of his workflow.
Big enough tug twister to open it up and let you a go in. He can't leave the surge station, so it's definitely made to lend a helping hand and do the heavy lifting. Toxanol records mention it as an automaton made for moving bionucleus matter into storage areas.
Right. Climity, climb.
Look at the notices on that board. No one paid much attention to them, it looks like. Wiz should be around here somewhere, probably taking care of his gupper.
Right. Like I say, I'm in the process of sorting this office out, so I'm
Was one of the cleaner ways to make
eventually going to move up there, and you'll be seeing me in that room. But for now, I'm just on the telly in the living room.
machinery clogged up.
Got a tripod, camera,
Most things from the bygone.
55-inch telly,
There are sure to be more tracks.
PC,
Maybe by
PlayStation,
the shore.
Xbox. That's all I need for what I'm doing. This way.
The world is waking up with dawn.
No, I'm going to try and buy 2 more. Because I don't want to take these out of the living room, because obviously the band plays. So, which obviously is an expensive venture. But what I'm thinking is, I'll take a Xbox Series S. No, not even slightly, mate.